We're back! Let's watch New Girl together! I'm so happy that you guys enjoy my New Girl video because New Girl is literally one of my favorite shows of all time. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun being able to pick out certain episodes in which I feel like Jess exhibits autistic traits more and then kind of provide a little bit of a dialogue about those moments. Especially given that a lot of you guys also love New Girl and it's also one of your comfort shows, I think this will be so fun for us to do. Because I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't really realize that Jess had a lot of these autistic traits until my most current rewatch. It's almost like those things where I can't unsee it. And so there's this one specific episode, which is going to be today's episode, where I really saw a lot of those high masking autistic traits or just those autistic characteristics in general. For those of you who don't know, it's going to be season 3, episode 12. It's titled Basketball. This is the episode where Jess is trying to befriend Coach. We get to just see the inner workings of her beautiful autistic brain in social situations. But before we get into today's episode, I want to share with you guys my favorite matcha brand, and that is 𝗪𝐺𝗵. Just make sure that before you guys drink this, you shake it really well because it literally contains so much within this small little shot. And you want to make sure that you're not getting all of it at the last sip. You're just evenly dispersing it. So 𝗪𝐺𝗵 is a shot of matcha that not only contains ceremonial grade matcha, which was really difficult for them to source, but it also has a lot of other amazing ingredients that helps boost your mental performance, such as, and all of you health freaks will know exactly what these ingredients are because you've most likely heard of them multiple times: lion's mane mushroom, vitamins B2, B3, and B12, ashwagandha, L-theanine, turmeric, vitamin C, and D3. I usually like to drink mine in the morning before I get my day started, especially on days where I'm not taking my ADHD meds, just to give myself a little bit of a mental boost to get the morning going. I also do like to take it near the afternoon when my ADHD meds are tapering off and I need a little bit of a mental boost to finish out the rest of my day. What I love about 𝗪𝐺𝗵 is that because it is matcha, it helps balance out my energy more than coffee does, which tends to give me a crash. And in general, it's just a lot better for your body. It doesn't cause inflammation the way that coffee does. If you guys are in the market for a new matcha drink and you want to give 𝗪𝐺𝗵 a try, go click the link down below. And if you use my code THOUGHT20, you actually get 20% off your purchase. But with that being said, let's go check back in with our New Girl gang. All right, let's get this episode started.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Wow, that sounds pretty good.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, Schmidt, I've been kind of stuck on this whole career search thing.
Oh.
You think I could be good at advertising? I mean, that's what you do, right?
Advertising is a dog drinking beer, a fat moron falling down the stairs, a snot-nosed brat kicking his rapping grandpa in the testicles.
Rapping grandpa kills me, though.
I'm in marketing, Winston, the backbone of capitalism. Without it, you'd be dead in 2 days.
I could be good at that.
Probably not, but you can shadow me at work today to find out.
Heyo, Team Drugstore, back from mission. Drugstore, right, Coach?
Yeah. Can I have my bag?
Yeah, good stuff.
Thanks.
So, same time next week, right? Team Drugstore? We'll go again to the drugstore? Team Drugstore? Oh, God, what a walnut. It's been 2 months, we've been living with him, and I have yet to crack him. It's like we just spent an hour together, it was like nothing, no connection. And don't tell me it's in my mind, because it's not. We ran into one of his friends, and Coach said the meanest thing about me.
The fact that, one, she uses walnut as a metaphor for Coach. I don't know about you guys, but I have walnut trees near my apartment, and I didn't know walnuts grew on trees the way that they do. They're literally like huge, almost the size of apples, right? They're this big, like a really hard shell. I could be wrong, but I think you have to soak them in water for a long time in order to get it soft enough to crack it open. And then inside is the walnut. And so the fact that I only know that now, living here, but also catching that she uses that as a metaphor for Coach is so funny to me. I love how she played this conversation with the boys over in her head enough to, before they get to dismiss what she's about to say, she says, and don't say it's all in my head, because she knows them that well. I honestly resonate so much with Jess because as a high masking autistic, when you're putting that much effort into remembering everyone's patterns and social dynamics, you get to a point where you think to yourself, if I wanted to, I could literally be friends with anyone because all I have to do is study what their conversational style is, what their interests are, and be able to play into that. I just think it's going to be so funny seeing the extent of what masking and scripting and pattern recognition can take you as an autistic person in your relationships with other people and friendships with other people, exhibited through how Jess is going to try to befriend Coach today.
Check these out. Can you believe these are for glaucoma?
She's my buddy's girlfriend.
You're my girlfriend. What's the big deal?
I want him to think of me as his friend.
I hear that.
Well, it'll happen if it's meant to.
I need to find a way in. I found a way to force myself into all of your lives. You just didn't know it. Food, clothes, onesie pajamas.
I like the butt flap.
You really think mine was food? I could think of 5 other reasons why I wanted to be your friend. Boob, boob, vagina, butt cheek, butt cheek.
In that order?
I'm not gonna say vagina, butt cheek, boob, butt cheek, boob.
But that's the correct.
That's the order, yeah.
Oh, well.
Wait, okay, let's think about this. Food, clothes, onesie, pajamas. That's so true because that one time Jess was trying to get Schmidt to start cleaning again because she convinced him to be less OCD about his environment. The way that she tried to convince him to be himself again was to tempt him with that Calvin Klein pair of slacks. And that's what did it. And also, okay, another time, this was multiple times actually, Nick tried to convince Schmidt to do things for him by tempting him with, you could dress me or you could style me and things like that. And Schmidt every time was like, yes, I'm in. And then also that one time Schmidt had a binder full of pictures of himself in different suits posing. And that was his way of trying to pick which outfit he wants to wear for an event and things like that. But this scene is so true. In every social interaction, am observing people so much so that I am taking in all the information of what makes them happy, even if they're not completely aware of it. Like how Nick doesn't realize that food is the dead giveaway on how to bond with him. There's a lot of the times people who are like, oh, I didn't realize that that's what you were doing to get closer to me. But that's what happens when you're an observational person. You notice like, oh, this friend of mine tends to be a lot more open and warm when they're eating food with me, or this person tends to want to get up to shenanigans with me when I include clothes somehow, or I use that as a bartering chip. Or like, I don't know what Winston's thing is about onesie pajamas. I don't know if it's that he wants to wear it or he wants to match with someone, but I mean, Winston's like that cute, cuddly guy, right?
Look, Nick, I need help. Like, tell me about Coach. Like, what's up with him? What does he like? What does he dislike?
Well, Coach 101 is he's watching basketball. And that's all he's gonna do from October till June. His team's the Pistons. I mean, they were great in the 80s, but then we got Jordan. Then they started getting good. Then we got Thibodeau. What you gonna do now? And he knows that.
That's genius. Basketball, that's my way in.
Basketball's not your in. You don't know anything about basketball.
Come on.
You refer to it as basketball.
Well, that's the technically correct term, Nick. There are 2 baskets. I'm an English teacher. Basketball's just the first step. We sit down, we watch a game, we have a few laughs. Before you know it, we'll be digging into each other's pasts.
That's not how it works, though.
Childhoods, Nick. That's the friendship money shot.
I literally had this exact interaction with my partner a few months ago where we had a little bit of a tiff about something, and then afterwards I drew out a diagram of all of the responses he was going to give me in detail. Like if he were to say this, these actions will follow after it. But if he said this, all of these actions will follow after it. And then I drew another diagram of this isn't going to be a normal pattern that you have, but it's a possibility if you decide to change it up this time. And if so, these are all the patterns that probably will follow after. I kept the diagram to myself just to see if what I had predicted would end up happening. And to the exact detail, everything happened as I wrote it out. And then after that happened, I gave the diagram to my partner and I was like, look, I drew this in the beginning of the day. Now it's the end of the day. Tell me I wasn't absolutely 100% correct about what you ended up doing for the rest of the day as a response. And he was like gobsmacked on like how accurate it was, but also frustrated, but also impressed that I was able to predict it. And he was just like, you know everything, huh? Like, you know exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm just like, yes, I do. This is one of those moments where I could see how other people see us as being really passive aggressive, annoying. I don't even know if I would handle that well if I was on the receiving end of it, to be so predictable for another person.
Men watch sports so we don't have to talk about childhood stuff.
No.
It's a real thing. And the game doesn't even have deeper meaning.
Come on.
And there's no layers to it. If I'm talking about a player overcoming the defense to win, that's not like I'm overcoming it.
No, come on.
Not only that, he's a Pistons fan and I'm a Bulls fan.
Right, I don't understand.
It's rivalries.
Sharks and cats.
Yankees, Red Sox.
Whales and dolphins.
Pistons fan, Bulls fan, end of discussion.
I get it. Jean Valjean and Javert.
Yeah, definitely. This is like a 𝗍𝗏𝗯 and 𝗍𝗏 situation.
I do that all the time too, using metaphors to try to understand the information being given to me, and then the other person not knowing what those metaphors mean because they ironically take it too literally. And they're just like, I don't know how dolphins and whales relates to this conversation about basketball teams. And it's just like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? I think it's funny because Nick in the beginning of the episode is trying to explain to Jess that liking basketball is not that deep and whatnot, so Jess shouldn't expect to bond with Coach on a deep level through basketball. But then later throughout the episode, we're gonna see that basketball really is that important for guys, where it is deeper than we thought. So Nick kind of just like eats his own words in a sense. But that's the thing. Sometimes people don't realize that no matter what it is you're passionate about, you're passionate about it for a reason. Just because basketball isn't an inherently deep thing, like it's not about emotions or psychology, the connection people feel towards it, that is what is deep, right? And I think Jess sees that. Coach is so into basketball for a reason. It's probably more than just basketball for him. And she wants to figure out what that is so that she could build a deeper connection with him. And basketball is basically her in for that deeper connection. And she finds that for everyone else as well. And Nick is, again, taking it way too literally. And this is coming from a good place. He's basically warning Jess, just so you know, if you're gonna get into basketball with Coach, it's just gonna be watching basketball. It's not gonna be anything deeper than that. We're not gonna talk about our childhoods and whatnot. But boy, is Nick oh so wrong, as we will see. For these guys, it is that deep.
Yes!
Hey!
Whoa! I stay sealed off during basketball season. Plus, I drop some olives under the bed. Can't reach them.
Oh, I got little pinchers.
Yo.
Hey, so I was gonna watch the Pistons of Detroit game. Don't really have to reach for that. Good thing I got legs.
Wait, you like the Pistons?
Oh yeah, just like
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Oh!
So you in?
It'd be cool to watch it on a big TV.
I found your olives.
Oh, you did?
Thought they were gonna be in a jar.
Ew. Acts of service, the easiest way to bond.
Nothing but net.
You could tell she studied terms beforehand.
Traditionally, nothing but net refers to hitting nothing but inside of the net. No, no. Oh, timeout.
Butt bump.
What?
I'm ready.
What's a butt? Oh.
Come on.
All right.
Hey,
First bonding moment.
hey, what is that?
It's the Pistons butt bump.
I didn't know your girlfriend was a Pistons fan. That's gotta suck for you, man. But I guess everything sucks for you when you root for the Bulls. Ah! Butt bump!
Oh, cool. So you're a Pistons fan now, Jess.
Suck it, Bulls!
Yeah. Suck it, Bulls.
The worst team in the league!
She's not taking it seriously at all. But Nick is getting so irked. In Jess's mind, she's like, I'm finally connecting with Coach. And she thinks that Nick, since earlier he said it's not that serious, is gonna be like, oh my God, it's working too. Like, good job. But what she doesn't realize is that Nick is just not really self-aware. So he is getting a lot more bothered than he predicted. And it's a lot more personal than he said it was. And so he's actually getting really offended that his girlfriend is rooting for the opposing basketball team. It's almost like he's taking it as a direct hit to their relationship. And so she's gonna have a hard time understanding that when he starts to get really butthurt, especially given all the denying he did in the beginning of this episode.
Hey. So, it went really well today. I think Coach and I are really connecting.
Come on, what is that?
What do you mean? What? Oh,
She's so unaware.
Coach gave this to me. How cute is this shirt?
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna need you to get out of my bed.
Why? Because of the shirt?
100% because of the shirt.
Oh my God, you're serious?
I can't have you in my bed in a piston shirt.
Oh
I need you to
my
get out of
God!
the bed. I need you to get out of there. I tried being cool about it, but it's not cool.
Really?
Really.
Nick, it's just basketball. Why are you taking this personally?
Because it's personal, Jess. That's my team. It's the city that I'm from. It's most of my relationship with my dad. R.I.P., by the way. Michael Jordan. It's the first man that taught me that I could love a man.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me of how there'd be so many moments where I'm trying to make the connection of what the deeper meaning is of something for my loved one. Let's say my partner, for example, where I see how much he loves video games, right? And so I take all the information I know about him, I put it together, and I'm just like, so video games is the only time you felt safe in your world, but also safe to explore a world. There's no repercussions to it. If you get injured or die in the game, that's not going to reflect in real life. It makes you have a sense of control, and because you didn't have many people that you connected with growing up, video games was the only time you felt connected to anything. It allowed you to tap into your creativity in ways that you weren't able to tap into in other aspects of your life. I would say stuff like that, and then my partner's like, not everything has to be deep and about your traumas or about emotions, but then, you know, months later in our other conversation where we're kind of reflecting back on our childhood, he'll just randomly share, video games meant so much to me. It was my escape. It was the only thing I had as a child and whatnot. As he's saying that and like feeling connected to it, in my mind, I'm just like thinking back to all those months before where I said that exact same thing, but he didn't see it at the time. And then in the moment, I'm just like, there's that part of my smartassness that just wants to be like, didn't I say this before and you denied it? I'm at a place in my life where I don't do that as much anymore. I'm just like, yeah, it is important to you, huh? As long as you have the realization, I'm happy. I don't need to like interject myself and say, ha, I told you.
And the Pistons are our rivals. They're like in Hamlet, the McCalls and the Shakespeares. And you're my girlfriend now, so you gotta be a Bulls fan.
That's the whole point, Nick. Coach just thinks of me as your girlfriend, and I want him to know me for me. Do you want me to be friends with Coach?
I absolutely do, yes.
So then why can't I be a Pistons fan until we become friends? And then I'll switch to the Bulls.
So every year you could just pick a new team, you meet a new friend, you're a fan of that? I could never trust you.
Can we just have sex now, please?
I'm sorry, you can't be a Pistons fan, I forbid it. It has to be this way.
You can't forbid me to do stuff. That's just not you. That's not within your power.
I just did.
The shirt stays.
Jessica, you're leaving me no options here. I'm gonna have to turn off the tap.
What tap?
The sex tap.
But I need my vitamin D.
As long as you're wearing that shirt, the tap is off. No more hot water.
All right, fine then. My shirt and I will go sleep in my bed.
Oh, what happened to your Pistons jersey? Did you rip it off and rush in here because you gotta have it?
Look, is this still a thing?
Oh, it's still a thing. No sex for you as long as you're a Pistons fan.
You can't use sex to manipulate. What are you doing?
Oh, just brushing my dirty teeth.
They're filthy.
Nick, do not challenge me to a sex standoff. I can channel all my sexual energy into knitting. How do you think I made it through high school?
It's good when you go fast and then slow.
Amen, girl.
Make the teeth wait for it.
You're on.
Oh!
Yeah!
Over, go,
Don't get from
go,
the downtown. Pass that pumpkin to Josh Schmidt.
You better listen to my friend. She knows exactly what she's talking about.
Did you just call me your friend?
What's up,
Aw.
guys? Oh, 2 minutes in.
Second
Pistons
point of
already down by
connection.
10. What a drag.
What the heck are you wearing, dude?
Just my Scottie Pippins, yeah. Oh, hey, I'm just checking up on you. You frustrated at all? You need your vitamin D?
No.
Ew.
Good boy play!
Oh, yeah!
That's what I'm talking about!
We are talking about the same thing, my friend and I.
Do my berries make you hungry? Refreshing.
Just drink the water, Nay. You're turning yourself on now.
I really am, yeah.
I just don't understand why they keep giving these games away! You know what it was? It was that turnover in the third quarter.
Right.
Yeah, I'll show you.
I could just take your word for it.
Actually, let's do it from the beginning.
You want to watch the game we just watched all over again? Mm-hmm. With both overtimes?
Mm-hmm.
She's questioning everything. She's like, do I want to be committed like this? Is it worth it?
Looking for something?
Just doing a bed check. And you are accounted for, so see ya.
So how's it going? You guys bonding over basketball, Jess?
We're actually this close to moving past basketball and into real friendship, so
Great.
feeling pretty good about it.
After the Pistons lost, did you get really sad and talk to you about it? About how we felt and you guys became besties after? Or did that not happen because that's not the way men are?
The Pistons lost, so you must be feeling pretty good.
Oh, I'm happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're feeling excited,
Mm-hmm.
worked up,
Yeah.
ready to cave.
Oh, I've never been stronger.
Oh, yeah? So if I just read you a description of, like, what a piston does, you know, on my phone, wouldn't affect you at all? Is that what you're saying? It's just a rod that transfers force from the crankshaft.
What is this, a seduction class for kindergartners? Watch the master work.
How about this?
Little Paula Abdul stuff.
She's so pretty here.
We doing this? What are you doing?
Ball's in my court now, pal. Ha ha! I'm turning off my tap until you become a Pistons fan.
Hey, that wasn't part of the deal.
It is now.
We love Jess. You're weak, Nick. You caved. You caved.
I can't figure out my counter-strike, Winston. The only thing we know about Ed is that he's old and cranky, and he baffles me because I'm so darn young and pleasant.
We just gotta get insight into his old, cranky mind. We have to find an older, crankier
How are we
mind.
gonna find an older, cranker mind than Ed?
Hey, where are you guys getting your photos developed these days? I got these beefcake selfies that I want to dangle in front of Jess. Get our energy right.
Your phone has a camera, Nick.
These are sexy, sensual, private pics. I don't want them beamed right into Snowden's pocket. I'm not going through WikiLeaks, man. It's not for me. Analog. It's the only thing you can trust.
Honestly, anytime Nick says stuff like that, everyone thinks it's stupid. But if you actually think about it, you're just like, that makes sense. I get it. Like, I get it. When they asked Nick if he washed his towels, and Nick's like, no, I don't wash my towels. Why do I need to wash something that washes me? What do I have to wash next? The shower? You're just like, oh, that's kind of nasty. But deep down, you secretly understand what he's saying. His logic kind of makes sense.
You care to elaborate, on this whole analog thing?
No, here's the reality. You never know what's going to happen with a phone.
Right.
The hinges that hold the flip together,
Flip?
they get loosened over time when they get wet. And then once you open it, it's easier for people to go in there and see your passwords and, see your codes. Once the screen breaks, your information's in the Twitterverse, man. And it's all out there for everyone to see. All these little monkey elves, man, all these kids. That's all they do. Get your information, man. Bottom line is you can't control your technology. That's what's going on in Japan with all those robots. Not for me, man. That's why I trust a hard copy. Plain and simple.
Hard copy, Schmidt.
Nice work.
Thank you.
And Nick, if you're gonna be taking boudoir shots,
Yeah.
please consult me.
I know.
I have a series of poses that many people, including myself, find very sexy.
Oh my
Here's
God.
one. I call it the half nut.
That reminds me of when Schmidt sent 𝗪cie a dick pic, and then he was like, red eye, red eye, red eye, send. I don't know if I have to explain what that third red eye is, but I'm sure some of you can deduct what it is.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
This is called Guy Fieri.
Let's just taste the sauces.
Black licorice.
Ooh, yeah.
You're welcome.
Schmidt's dead wrong.
Oh, yeah?
I got some real hot pics in here.
I don't care.
There's one of me as a sexy mayor looking out the window, deciding the future of my city. It's gotta get her going. Daddy needs his cookie.
Dude, just wear the damn Pistons
Oh
jersey.
my God, I've gotta end this.
What time is it? Game time!
Yeah. That's my favorite time, other than medieval time.
All right. Huh?
What the? Wait, no, I'll do it. Okay. No! Oh my god, a mouse, rat, or some creature.
She's like, let me speed along this
Gotta go watch
journey
the
of
mouse.
friendship and connection.
No, Coach. Look, since we can't watch the game, why don't we just have a nice long chat over coffee?
What?
You know, just talk, hang out.
What?
And then coffee turns to dinner, and dinner turns to weekly dinner. And before you know it, I'm best man at your beach wedding.
Do we have to? Really want to? Okay.
You start.
Me? Hey, you want to do this over food?
Yes! Yes!
No! No! Come on! Get your head out of your ass so you can see where you're going, damn it!
Okay,
All right.
I have to say it. Coach, I don't like basketball.
What?
There's like no fun parts.
She's realizing that he is a lot more shallow than she had initially predicted. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that there's not other things to coach. It's just, I think she underestimated how much it was going to take to like crack him open. And she's at her wit's end because she is absolutely not interested in anything that basketball has to offer. Like, it is the opposite of all her interests as a person.
There's no themes.
We love a good
Men should not be
theme.
wearing tank tops ever.
Why are you pretending to like basketball?
Because I wanted to be friends with you.
Dude, you're my buddy's girlfriend. We're watching the game. What's the problem, dude? What else do you want?
No, you're right. I'm just Nick's girlfriend, so enjoy the game. Okay.
Where are you going?
I'm just
Jess. Jess!
Jess! You win! I'm all back up! I've even been fantasizing about Winston!
Ew.
Where is she, dude? Don't do that laugh.
What are you wearing, dude?
It's for sex.
You like the Pistons.
Why don't you shut up, coach? Where's Jess?
What is up with that girl, dude? 1 minute we're watching the game, the next she's like calling me a jerk and storming out of the place.
She just wants to be your friend. Any idiot can see that.
We were being friends. We were watching the game together. It was an awesome game.
Okay, maybe she wants more than that.
That's so true. When I would push myself to go out into social situations more when I was in high school and college, there'd be so many moments where I'd be out with people. I would look around and be like, everyone's just sitting here and they're not really talking or bonding at all. I would think to myself, are all these moments really this empty? But then why doesn't it look like that in pictures? And then I would have this like cognitive dissonance and be like, what? I was yearning for this connection all this time. I'm here and now I realize it's not great at all. That's the thing, is that a lot of people have those superficial type of friendships, and that's to them what friendships are, and it's equally as important in a weird way. Coach genuinely was like, we are friends. We were watching the game. Like, that's what I do with all my friends. But then he doesn't realize that Jess needs a lot more than that. She wants to actually be connected to each other.
Like what?
You want to know a trick?
Absolutely.
This is how you get in with Jess. You know when you're driving in your car and you have a random thought like, I wonder if seals are friends.
Yeah, or like, I really want to text right now, but there's a cop behind me.
That's not what I'm in.
Why do T-Rex have little arms?
Don't finish. I knew you
If they
don't.
get itch in their crotch, how do they scratch it?
I mean more like sweet kind of emotional stuff.
I love how Nick is able to explain that in the way that Nick understands. It's just so interesting that Nick is like, you know, when you have those thoughts, like those sweet emotional thoughts randomly, she wants to hear those types of things. I literally had this conversation with my partner the other day. Honestly, this happens all the time, where he shares something with me and I'm just like, why don't you ever talk about it more? Why am I only hearing about it now? And he was like, well, I don't think to share it because no one wants to hear all these random thoughts that I have. It would be endless. And I'm just like, yes, I want to hear all those random thoughts. It informs me about who you are as a person. It can lead to really interesting conversations. I'd rather have that than not have it. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you combed, you know, like a gorilla's hair, would it like it?
Like I've never seen a baby pigeon before.
Exactly. Tell that to her and you get a friend for life. Now, excuse me, sex awaits. Jess, you win! I want to take you! Respectfully!
Come here.
Take that jersey off. Actually, leave it on.
Jess! Jessica Day, hey! I just want to say that, I would love to be your friend. Look, I know I'm crazy about the Pistons, but it's just because Detroit was the city I lived in the longest as a kid. I lived in like 6 different states by the time I was 10. At a certain point, I just stopped trying to make friends. I got real comfy on that.
Really?
A lot easier saying bye to your buddy's girlfriend than it is your friend.
Well, I'm not gonna be saying goodbye to you anytime soon.
Aww. He's basically saying he has an attachment to basketball because it was something that was stable through a time where nothing was stable for many years because he moved around so much, and so he lived longest in that state. And then he was also saying that he tends to not want to connect with people because he doesn't want to say goodbye. Part of the reason why he doesn't want to connect deeper with her is because it's easier to say goodbye to your friend's girlfriend than to say goodbye to your friend, which kind of indicates that he has a hard time saying goodbye to his friends, which is also why he keeps them at arm's distance as well. Because if you watch the show, Coach is never really close to the other guys like the other guys are to each other. But when he starts getting closer with Jess, he starts to open up more to everyone. Because Coach could be like a little bit superficial, but we see in this 3rd season, at least when he comes back, that there's a lot more to Coach than we thought. And I don't think we would have been able to see that without Jess genuinely wanting to connect with him and forcing him to have to genuinely connect with his loved ones.
Except for right now.
You do a butt bump? Butt. Now you're probably doing your own butt bumps. Cool. I know you guys are already done.
Well, all right, that was the end of that episode. If you've never watched New Girl, was it fun to see how Jess likes to connect with other people? I think this is a really great example of how high masking social deficits can look like, in terms of you understand people in a social way, but you have to put effort into it, if that makes sense. She can't just inherently make friends without having to put a lot of thought and intention into it. But at the same time, because she puts so much thought and intention into it, she's able to connect with people in a way deeper way than others can typically connect to each other right off the bat. This kind of reminds me of the whole conversation of autistic rizz, where there's a lot of autistic people saying how others mistake our form of conversation and connection with them as being very intimate and deep and special, when in reality, that's just how we talk to anyone. I was literally catching up with one of my best friends the other day when he was in town, and he was telling me how he went on like 15 first dates last month. And I was asking him how it went, and he was like, well, you know how it is. And I'm like, what? And he was like, it's just surface level conversations. It's the same thing every single time. It's not really that special and all that kind of stuff. Because I asked him like how it went and if he met anyone he liked, and he was like, no, I didn't, because we don't really talk about anything. We don't really connect. And then when he said it so matter-of-factly, like, you know how it is, I was just like, no, I don't know how it is. Because I always try to look for at least one nugget of authenticity, and I try to hone in on that and draw it out, because I just can't have a surface level conversation without wanting to bang my head against a wall and dissociate and leave. So I have to make it interesting for me too. And then my friend was basically like, well, me and you can have these sort of conversations, but that's not necessarily normal for other people. And I feel like those moments really help give me some perspective, because I could very easily think that the way that I talk and think and connect with people is just somewhat normal, especially now that I work from home and I don't have to be exposed to people all the time anymore. So it's really interesting for me in these moments to realize, oh, I guess this sort of conversation and thinking and connection isn't necessarily normal, and to really like appreciate those moments and those connections that I could have with others. Anyways, I I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode where we watch New Girl together. And of course, go check out Magic Mind's Matcha Mental Performance Elixir. I will leave the link to that in the description box down below. Use my code THOUGHT20 for 20% off your purchase. I will see you lovely people on the next one. Stay regulated.